Welcome to the show, Skyler Jordan. Your sound is a melodic mix of R&B, pop and rock, infused with a splash of sassy attitude. Born in Texas and raised in LA, California, you're no stranger to the music industry, and your distinctive sound can be heard on recordings hits by the likes of Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Stevie Wonder and Eminem, to name just a few. You've had international tours and performances with artists and pop icons such as Rod Stewart. There is a ton of other stuff to talk about with you, Skyler. Thank you so much for joining us, and please do tell us more.
Oh, okay. Well, you said a whole bunch that introduces Skyler. I started in the business as Barbara Wilson. So if you're looking for Skyler Jordan, a lot of previous recording will be noted as Barbara Wilson. Long story short, when I decided to do a solo record, I wanted a whole new face and a whole new person. So I met Skyler Jett. When I met him, and it was years after that I changed my name, I was inspired by his name. It was beautiful to me. It spoke to me. And I said, you know what? I'm going to use Skyler Jordan. So Jordan comes from Michael Jordan because he's the greatest of all time. If I can do a little bit of that for music, happy. So that's where the name Skyler Jordan came from. But under Barbara Wilson, I've done quite a bit of work as an artist, solo and backing vocals.
Excellent. Wow, I'm privileged. And I'm
It's
honored.
all you.
Wow. Listen, so how long you been singing?
I started singing when I realized that I could sing, I was 6 years old. We used to listen to records all the time. I'm an Army brat, so we lived abroad and I was little, wasn't even in school yet. So we listened to a lot of music. And when we came back to the States, a shy little Barbara Manning asked my mom's cousin if she could sing a solo in church. Everybody was very shocked. And then that's when it began, and church and then living room concerts. And my grandfather was a minister, so I used to sing, my sister and I, before he would preach or do his sermon. And so I started awfully young. Professionally, as an artist, when I was 16, I joined a band and I was a lead singer, kind of like the Rufus Shaka Khan vibe.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Now, what's your feelings about social conscious music?
Oh, I mean, I love it. First of all, I'm a lover of love, and I love connection and people growing and people being socially conscious of what's going on in the world today. I love Marvin Gaye. He started a lot of, that social coming up with that, it's definitely a passion because I care.
He was my hero at social conscious music. John Lennon, Bob Marley, Nina Simone, right?
Wow. Yes.
They were all rebels. They wouldn't like singing. Well, Marvin stopped singing love songs, and he went directly to, I have to say something to stop this war, and that's where what's going on came from, right?
Yes.
And then John Lennon, Imagine Peace. So that's how he wrote Imagine, and they became my heroes. I've been doing this 20 years now, and it's the best thing ever because you get to change people's lives and inspire them, you know what I mean, to write something that's going to heal, educate, and solve problems. So, I love what I do now. Tom?
Just briefly mentioned the sort of style of music that you do. You've worked with a lot of sort of rap artists and people of that nature. Is that something that happened sort of by accident for you, or how did those kind of meetings and those collaborations come about for you?
Yeah, because I've been singing all my life, basically in LA, and that's where I was raised. I'm Texas born, but raised in LA. And I get a phone call from a gentleman named Daryl Ross. I was doing a project with him for Morris Day, and Dr. Dre needed some female vocals. So one of the ladies that was already there, Nancy Fletcher, called. He gave my number to Nancy. Nancy called me, and it was like on from that point. They liked my voice, and I started getting a lot of calls, and it really kept me up because at the time, you know, R&B rap was really had just taken over. So I would always say that, you know, the rap world really embraced me and kept me eating. Yeah. So that's kind of how I got into that. So from Dr. Dre, everybody under his roster for the most part, I think I started it with him in 93, 94. And even just recently, I've done some work with Ice Cube on a project he's doing new. So I'm still, you know, doing the background vocals. Bottom line, it's my work.
Fabulous.
Are you a writer as well?
I am a writer as well. I co-wrote and wrote most of this. I have 2 records that are out. My first project is 7, entitled 7. And I think 10 out of 15 songs I wrote. And then my second record is Touch. And I wrote and co-wrote with my writing partner, Charles Finney, with that as well. Yeah.
I love it. Tom?
Yeah. Seems that you've done quite a bit of traveling for your art. Is there any kind of tours or any touring in the pipeline for you at all?
As of now, I don't have a tour on schedule. I've been doing some work with a Motown group. The producer is out of Australia, Greg Bonner, and he has this group in Australia, and he wanted to mirror the group here in the States. So I've been doing those shows, which are phenomenal. It's this classic Motown, sparkly dresses, the whole 9. So it's stuff I grew up on. And I also work with a funk band called True School All Stars. And it's people from Earth, Wind, and Fire and different, you know, a mesh of great musicians, you know, that we get together and work with.
Wonderful.
So what's your plan now?
My plan now, I am producing and working with a nephew of mine who is rap, but we're working to get him some of the conscious rap that you are speaking of and, you know, taking him to another. He's 18. So we're, you know, just infusing some things to just get him to think and take him to a different level. I'm always going to do music until the end of time for me. So I am working on a new project. We haven't started yet. I'm gathering material for another Skyler Jordan venture, and I'd love to work with you, Skyler. So it'll be Skyler and Skyler.
I thought you never asked.
Yes, let's do it. That would be great.
Tom?
I just want to know a little bit about your kind of social media and any kind of websites that you might have to publicize just what you're up to and how you can be gotten hold of.
Sure. My social media is Skyler with an E, and Skyler, I always have to tell people because they spell my name with an A. So
yeah, me too.
You too?
They do that to me all the time.
Really?
I say that's Skylar. We're Skyler.
Right. And that's the very reason I spelled it with an E, because I wanted it to be pronounced properly, Skyler. And after my email, it says Skyler spelled with an E, so that people, I like to put the E in red. Just anything to get their attention. But so it's Skyler Jordan, like Michael Jordan, Jordan. That's on all my social media platforms, and SkylerJordanMusic.com is my website.
Okay, fantastic.
Well, listen, bless you for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
For the privilege of your time to come on our show today. I love you, sister. Thank you for taking the time.
Okay?
Thanks.
I love you too. Thank you. And I look forward to hearing that music and working with you. Tom, it was very nice to meet you.
And you, and you.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you later.
Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world. There's an urgency
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.